Hey everybody. Because I don't have any plans this summer, at least to film any sort of outdoor adventure films, fly fishing, biking, whatever, I want to take you on a little journey with me. This summer I'm focusing all my effort on developing this 3-acre piece of property that my wife and I bought last summer. Backstory, about 2-3 years ago my wife's dad passed away, and she grew up in the UP of Michigan, and her dad had an awesome camp out on a little lake there, and she has just really good fond memories of her time out there, swimming, fishing, catching frogs, and she wanted to kind of recreate that here in Minnesota. And so when her dad passed away, we took a little bit of inheritance that we got from him and we invested in this property. Things that she wanted were tall pines, good fishing, small lake. So kind of a tall order, honestly. But we got really, really lucky and we found this 3-acre piece of property on 200 feet of shoreline with some good pike fishing. There's some walleye and bass too. And now I have been thrown into the deep end of trying to develop this. So last summer, I spent pretty much the whole summer cutting in this road. Right now I'm just clearing a little corridor alongside the road so we can bring power back in, because we are going to plan on building a small little cabin this summer with the help of my friend. Super grateful for him, Jeff, who you might recognize from one of my fly fishing films, Big Atreata Brook Trout. Check it out. And so I want to take you on a little tour of this property, and I'm hoping to kind of bring you along on this process because I am very green when it comes to this sort of work, but I've thrown myself at it, been able to do most of the work myself, and it's just super fulfilling. And it's fun to be out here, and you go home at night and you smell like wood chips and gasoline. So obviously we got the road that comes in, and this is where it ends here. This is about 170 feet from the lake. That's where we're going to build a small cabin. It's going to be 16 by 24, tall ceilings with a loft. No plumbing or anything, just electricity. We do have power at the road that we're going to bring in through this corridor I've been working on clearing today. And the other thing I worked on today was trying to fix up this outhouse, which I found used a couple miles away, and thanks to the help of a really kind neighbor who has a backhoe. He came over and hoisted it up and set it on my pad here. So I've been fixing it up. Just made a little bench here. I got to eventually get the toilet seat back on, and it's actually goes right into a vaulted tank there. So code where I'm at requires it to be a vaulted privy, just meaning that there's a big tank that you have to bury and pump it out periodically. Probably not too often, every couple of years maybe. 200 gallons, it's a lot of pooping. Here's a bunch of trees. Last year I brought in a chipper and did some chipping. I'm hoping to do that again because there's just so many dead balsam and spruce trees that got eaten by the spruce budworm. So here is kind of the landing spot, and that's where the camp is going to be. And we have this little foot trail. So all this work was kind of last summer. Carved out a little spot down by the water here with a fire pit and a dock. Put a dock in last year. And now the fun stuff is happening this summer with the cabin build. Fire pit location, we just cleared a little spot here surrounded by all these trees. And then I brought some of the wood chips down here and made a little path, some boulders. And then right here is where we set up our big bug tent so the kids can stay out of the bugs, and we can put our cooler in there and just get away from the skeeters. And then the path that goes down to the lake. Beautiful little spot here. Yeah, dock. Watermaster is a constant staple flotation device here. And the dog. I gotta get back to work because it's only about 10, 11 a.m. and I've only got about 4,000 steps on my stepometer, so there's a lot of work to do. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. I'm very green when it comes to this stuff. I'm learning as I go. But most of all this work has been done with, you know, chainsaw, hand tools, and some elbow grease. So really excited to keep this thing going. I want to bring you guys along on the build process, and show you around. It's going to be fun. Dina's dad would really like this place, so this is going to be kind of a tribute to him, and we always think about him when we come out here. So special place, and I'm happy to share some of this with you guys. So stay tuned.